Good morning, good peoples. It is Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation back at you for one more final one for Friday morning, and it is Granite, the big payer, and sometimes the Navi rotor. All right, let's jump in here. So, the reason I list some of these twice before you say something here is because I compare them with the longer running ones, and then I compare the ones that launch on 7/29. That's why I have something listed twice. So I can do it short and see how some of the long-term ones compare to the newer ones. All right, so Tesla, TSYY, the Tesla underlying, paid 22 cents, declared on the closing price of September 18. And ex-dividend, unfortunately, by the time we get these, are on the 19th, and then they pay next Tuesday on the 23rd, all of the funds. So high yield, 139.7. If you take the 22 cents, come back in here and look at the, what, $8 stock price, 854. It's up from 839 last week. Kind of trending up. I don't know. Oh, F5 minus E5. Oh, that's a positive number. Come on. Where is my conditional formatting? Oh, I'm always fixing these, losing these. I'll just go through real quick. All right, that's a little better. So we were up 15 cents. Total distribution since 12/18/24 is a dividend return of 53.76 over the 274 days, and the annualized to 365 is 71.61. The bad news is they lost more than that on, and that's not uncommon. Everybody remember a little fund from Yomax called TSLY? Well, this one's only down 3. That booger did a reverse split and was pretty ugly altogether. Sometimes the funds just don't cooperate. The worst thing these income funds can do, the behavior, is run up super fast. I mean, explode, go up 3x in 2 or 3 months, 4 months, 5 months even. More than 3, 4, 5% a week. You're not going to capture most of that upside in these funds. And then when they go, so they they're going up super fast. You catch a third at best. Then when they come down, you take 90 to 95% of the down. So how do you win in that scenario? You don't. But that's what happens when you chase income. The fund will tell you, "Oh, drip, add more," right? Well, it's like catching a falling knife. Why can't you just participate? So there are better ways in a lot of cases than these income funds. But a steady bull market, goes up a couple percent a week, and then when it goes down, it just has a small retrace and goes back up. There are some profiles or underlying stocks that do better in these. Tesla in the past has not been a great one. Now, Curve does a little bit better job. They're a little more conservative. They don't pay as much yield. All right. So going back, let's keep going, and I'll save the reviewing that. So NVYY, NVIDIA, paid about 100% yield on cost and pretty steady, went down from 46 cents to 42 cents, had been 47, had been 50. Kind of matches NVIDIA stock, right? So NVIDIA stocks had 2 different runs. It's had some bear movements, and then it's turn around and run to new highs, and now it's off those highs, say 5, 10%. I don't have the chart in front of me, but it has pulled back some. Looks toppy to me even at these levels, but so does most of the NASDAQ. All right. So XBITI, crypto, right? So 99.78, similar, 41, 41, 40, 41, 43, 45. All right. So it's a consistent payer, but we'll have to look at the NAV. And then their NASDAQ fund, the QQY, as they call it, is up 50.48, paid 18 cents. And their SPY, S&P 500 fund, also very similar yield on cost, pays a little more money. I assume the stock price is a hair higher. So then we come down to these guys. Koi, right? Koi and but we've already included most of these, but I like to build a scenario which I use in other things to show how they've done over, say, the last 90 days or so. It's actually less than that. How many calendar days? It is 51 calendar days, so not really close to 90. Okay, so let's go take a look at what we've got here. So you see the distributions up here, and even these, look at this, 12, 18, 24, May 13th, May 13th, February 26th, April 3rd, and then all of these ones that I took the newest one and then added some of the old ones because I wanted to see how everybody's doing. So when I look at this total return, well, Koi, right, with the coin underlying, has done really, really well, generally speaking. It's flown up, pulled back, but I'd say there's more up than down in this particular period of time. So it had 196% distribution annualized. In 51 days, it actually paid 27.51%, $6.81. But it also has gone from 24.76 to 19.83. So that's $5, almost $5. Okay. 7 cents less than being $5, which is a lot, right? Which is projected out annualized is 79, almost 80%, but it's still showing a positive more than a negative because it's paying a lot. All right, the Tesla fund, whereas if you look at the Tesla fund over all of this period of time, I talked about that as 71.61 distribution annualized yield, but the NAV loss, right? So this is pairing the losses. This is the last bit of TSYY and the underlying Tesla doing better over the last 60 days or so is helping this. It'll turn green at some point based on what I'm seeing. So here's a case, not too much NAV loss. I mean, 1962, but that's since 513, right? That's over 128 days. So it is some, but annualized yield is 104. So a nice return. So if you go back and look at all of these, NVIDIA has done the best job. Now, I wonder if this is right. Inception price, is that right? Let me check this. YSPY. Sometimes when I'm typing, I carry over something from a column. Well, clearly 2022 is correct here, but let's go back to 4325. And is that the right number? I don't think it is, but can't be positive. It in fact is 20.22. All right. I got concerned there. I saw like a flat nav, right? You don't see that very often with 160 days. So this is the distribution annualized. They paid 30% in 168 days, and they're saying annualized at 66. The nav is absolutely where it started at. So that nets you all the yield. Not bad when you get there that way, which is good enough for second place. NVIDIA is the only one in NVYY, the NVIDIA fund for granted, the only one beating it. And XBITI, the crypto BTC fund, is right there. The only one that's not doing so well is the NASDAQ. All right, so Koi, when we look at these, Koi's the winner here. Who's second? Well, TSYY. right? That S&P 500 fund. Now here you've got some NAV loss if you just look at it from 729, but you also got some outsized payments on a relatively cheap. Oh yeah, sorry, this is Tesla. I was thinking for a minute that I was talking about um, YSPY. So Tesla it's got an outstanding, but again, like what I've been saying, this is over 51 days. That's in the wheelhouse of when Tesla has been better performing. But because Granite pays so darn much, they always have some NAV loss. But I'll take a 92.87. Not going to stay that high with a 51-day sample calendar day. All right, and a lot better than NVIDIA. While NVIDIA's great over 128 days, over 57 days, it doesn't measure up because it's now been pulling back. All right, and then the crypto over this same period can't really win. So all four of the other funds are beating the crypto fund. But that shouldn't really surprise people over this 51-day cycle. You know, it went to a high pullback. It's starting up some. All right, guys, I don't have the comparison data updated where I take you through all the Tesla funds, all the NVIDIA funds. I just did all the BTC funds. So go out there and look at how XBitty did. I haven't updated lately my QQQ funds and my SPY funds from all the different ones, but I'll get around to that. All right, guys. I need to get ready for the markets here. This is Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. All right, guys, have a great Friday and into the weekend. See ya. Bye for now.